Happy Thursday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, of course, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Make sure you join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. I am Anthony Totri, joined as always by the deli man behind the Mac, making all of the magic happen. If you are here for Senor Rubis, well, Rubis has packed his bags and he is on a vacation, not to return until an unspecified date in August. So you'll just have to continue to stick around until Rubis shows back up again. But in the meantime, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. JJB in the chat just ripping some ASU hoops out of nowhere. Saying men's basketball assistant coach and Amir Ali's uncle, Yusuf, heading to West Virginia. Do with that what you will. I'm going to choose to do nothing with that. Shane, what say you? Yeah, nothing at all. Yeah, it's fair. Dallas in the chat saying, I haven't been here in a minute, but less than a month until football. Baby, it's going to be an absolute blast. EJ in here as well, our newest PHNX Sun Devils diehard. Love to see that. While you're here, if you're not already a PHNX diehard, head to gophnx.com, click the diehard tab, take advantage of the offer that we've got going on right now. I'll tell you a little bit more about that amazing offer that we have as the show continues. But today, with Arizona State football getting fall camp started in just a few days, I figured what better time than to look at the schedule and figure out some matchups that could play a huge role in Arizona State's 2025 season, some season-defining matchups. And Eric and I kind of went through the schedule just a little bit yesterday, evaluating how difficult it is compared to what the Sun Devils saw in 2024. And I think when that schedule first came out, for me, it was more so like, yeah, this feels relatively easy. This feels like a schedule that Arizona State could certainly go undefeated. They could repeat as Big 12 champions or go to the Big 12 championship game. But as the offseason has kind of carried on and as maybe the hype has grown around this conference with some specific quarterbacks or teams in general, reevaluating that schedule and looking at it, it does feel like this is going to be a much more challenging path for Arizona State to reach that Big 12 championship game in 2025. I think you go back to the 2024 schedule, there were some teams that ultimately didn't live up to expectations, and there were some teams at the end of the year that were in that AP Top 25 that were certainly some tough matchups for the Sun Devils, but ASU took care of business. And before we dive into some of those season-defining matchups in 2025, I think it's worth, again, understanding that there are some teams in the Big 12, there are some teams in college football that are getting a lot of love right now, that are getting a lot of hype. There's a lot of quarterback discussion in this conference specifically, but the same thing that happened last year is the same thing that happens every year in some conference, or all the conferences to some extent, where there are teams that are hyped, Utah, Kansas from last year, that end up falling flat on their face. And there are teams that maybe people weren't expecting the biggest things from that ultimately go on to do great things. BYU, Arizona State, for example, last year in the Big 12. We'll see ultimately what happens in the Big 12 here in 2025. But getting into some of those season-defining matchups for Arizona State, starting with the Baylor Bears. I've got that Week 4 matchup between Arizona State and Baylor as a season-defining matchup for a number of reasons, not to mention this is where Arizona State is opening Big 12 play on the road against a team that by that time in the Baylor Bears could be in the AP Top 25. You're kicking off Big 12 play. You got to do it better than you did last year, right? Last year, Arizona State kicked off Big 12 play after a solid 3-0 start in non-con, and how'd they open it? They opened it with a road loss to Texas Tech, tortillas scattered all over the end zone. That can't be the case in Week 4. But why is this a season-defining matchup? Well, just taking a look at Baylor, a team, again, that I've already said a number of times has gotten a lot of hype this offseason. They returned their starting quarterback in Sawyer Robertson, who wasn't supposed to be the starter going into last year. It was supposed to be DeQuan Finn, who transferred over from Toledo, who has now left that program, and he is the quarterback at Maryland. Not sure if he's starting for the Terrapins at this point in the season, but we will see as their offseason carries on. Sawyer was pretty impressive in 2024. 28 passing touchdowns to 8 INTs. There are a lot of folks, myself included, that want to see him do it for an entire season in this conference. Does he put his name with some of the other really talented quarterbacks in this conference? Does he join the conversation of a Sam Leavitt or an Avery Johnson? Or is this somebody that is always going to be on the cusp of potentially doing something really great, like a Jalen Daniels or even a guy in Noah Fafita at Arizona, right? So there is a lot of discussion surrounding Sawyer Robertson. Dave Aranda has fully taken himself off the hot seat after a great season last year. Not to mention, we often talk on this show about the running backs in this conference and how many of them were dominant last year. Cam Scadaboo, of course, in Tempe, RJ Harvey with UCF, DJ Giddens, Devin Neal, the list goes on and on and on. Baylor, one of the few teams that's going to be bringing back their starting running back from last season, Bryson Washington. I want to say he was a true freshman last year, or at the very least a redshirt freshman. He is back for the Baylor Bears. He had over 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns on the ground in 2024. He is going to be a running back to watch in this conference all season long. I know there's a lot of attention on the quarterbacks now in this conference, but if you still are a running back guy, Bryson Washington, he's going to be a fun player to watch. So offensively, this is a team that brings back a lot of the firepower, has a lot of momentum from the end of last season. If you're somebody that believes in momentum, that it can carry over from season to season, then this is certainly a team offensively that's going to be fun to watch. And they're going to be at home against Arizona State. We've said all offseason, and Arizona State knows this, right? That they are now they're the hunted. They're not the hunter anymore. People are circling that matchup against Kenny Dillingham, Sam Leavitt, Jordan Tyson, Kanye Udo in this defense because they are the reigning Big 12 champions. They are a team that is expected to finish in the top 3 of this conference. Every single game is going to be important, but when you look at this game against Baylor, it does feel like this is going to set the tone for what is to come for Arizona State in 2025. Do you have the same outcome that you had last year to start Big 12 play and take an L on the chin from a team that is supposed to be good, but maybe not upper echelon, right? Texas Tech wasn't supposed to be an upper echelon team last year, yet they took it to Arizona State at their own house, right? Does Baylor do the same thing? I think offensively, they're going to be able to throw some punches, but the big questions come on the defensive side of the ball for Baylor. This was a bottom half defense in total yards allowed, points per game, and passing yards allowed last season in the conference. Now, in theory, that defense should be a little bit better. They did lose some talent in the transfer portal, as did everybody in this conference, but they did add an edge rusher from Oregon, another defensive lineman from A&M. On the back end, they lost their INT leader in Corey Gordon to Louisville, who transferred, of course, to the ACC, but they do bring back one of the top tackling linebackers in the conference from a year ago. Definitely their best backer that they had last season in Keaton Thomas. So that defense, again, in theory, should be better. But getting back to why this game is a season-defining matchup. Think about it for Arizona State, kind of the way that this schedule plays out. A lot of folks, myself included, feel that Arizona State should be undefeated going into this game. They should be 3-0. They should take care of NAU. They should take care of Mississippi State on the road, a team that was picked to finish dead last in the SEC preseason media poll. Now, take that with a grain of salt. Arizona State fans know a little something about being picked dead last in a preseason media poll. And then you have Texas Tech, a team that in theory got worse than they were a season ago. Lost their all-star running back in Ishmael Mahdi, who transferred into this conference to Arizona. I'm not sure. Shane, do you know if they still have their starting quarterback at Texas State, or is he was out of eligibility?
I'm not sure. I can look up.
Forget what his name was, man, but he was a fun player to watch. So then you go into this game against Baylor. What happens if you lose this game? If you lose this game, you're 3-1, and immediately I think the fan base is saying, okay, were the expectations too high? Do we need to win out the rest of the season to go back to the Big 12 championship
Jordan
game?
McLeod was a fifth year last year.
So he's gone. Yeah, so Texas State should, in theory, be worse. If you lose this game and you're 3-1 to start the year, this is assuming that you win your first 3 games, then there is a real conversation of, okay, maybe the expectations were a little too high, right? And Baylor's a good team. They should be a good team. There's a lot of hype around this team. But to knock off the reigning Big 12 champs that should have a Heisman contender candidate in Sam Leavitt, that should have a Bolintikoff type of wide receiver in Jordan Tyson, that do return 10 of 11 starters on defense in a number of other areas on this team, like a loss to Baylor would certainly deflate the hype balloon around Arizona State. And then, yeah, you do need to talk about, okay, if they're going to make it back, if they're going to go play in Dallas in their second Big 12 championship in 2 years, then they probably have to win out at this rate. Because we're talking about a team that should be starting the year in the top 15 of the AP top 25, and you lose this game, I mean, that's a stumble. You're going the complete other direction. Now, is it a season killer at this point? No. But, man, does it certainly hurt. If we're putting this in like UFC or fighting terms, you're stumbling. You're stumbling after the first round if you get hit in the mouth by the Baylor Bears in Waco, Texas. That is going to be an absolute problem for the Arizona State Sun Devils to start the 2025 season.
Do you want to know what Sparky's doing?
I do. Is he visiting a museum?
He is at the Waco Mammoth National Monument.
Didn't know that was a thing.
Lots of things to do in Waco.
Wow. Apparently.
It was hard to pick.
Yeah.
Hard to pick. He looks like he's having a good time.
How did you land on this one specifically? Just the vibe.
How did I land on it?
Yeah. How did you land on this is where we're going to go? We're going to go to the Mammoth Monument.
I didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything? You just took the photo?
Sparky's there.
Sparky's there. Did you take this photo?
No, he sent me it.
He sent you the photo?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were tight like that with him.
Well, he still doesn't talk to me, but he sends me pictures.
You guys are tight?
Yep.
You ever like go out together? Like
No.
It's
he doesn't drink.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
He's kind of a buzzkill, honestly.
So why are you friends with him?
It's keep a tight relationship with the athletic department.
Yeah. It's like somebody
I forgot they watch the show. I gotta stop talking.
You like grew up with somebody, but like if you met him today, you probably wouldn't start being friends. Yeah. No,
Sorry,
I totally get it, guys. Let me know what you think the final score is going to be of that Baylor ASU game, or how you think that matchup is going to turn out. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you don't think that this Baylor game is going to be a season-defining matchup. Maybe you do agree. I'd love to hear everything that you have to say about it in the comments. I'll get to it on the other side of this first break. I want to tell you about our friends over at Branded Bills. If you're looking for some gear to make your personal brand stand apart from the crowd, well, Branded Bills have got you covered with the best custom headwear in the game. Of course, start your order and their dedicated team is going to help you create the exact custom apparel that you need. We took a trip to the Branded Bills facilities a few months back, and we actually had the opportunity to make custom hats. First and foremost, I figured out that I am not somebody that is good at making hats, but I have a bigger appreciation for the folks at Branded Bills that do it, because they put a lot of time, energy, and passion into each and every one of those hats. And that's why they've got so many great options for you guys. Whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees, Branded Bills has you covered with performance and style. Not to mention, those hats are very, very breathable, which is super, super important here in the Valley when it does feel like it is 110 degrees every single day. From now through October, make sure you get your Branded Bills hat. Head to brandedbills.com and use code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. Now, like I said, it's hot as hell outside, and it could be hot as hell inside too if you don't have an APS smart thermostat, okay? It's a smart thermostat that works with your APS rate plan to help you automatically adjust the temperature in your home. I could be sitting right here and I could adjust the thermostat at my house. The smart thermostat I have with APS, I could do it right here. Did you know for every 1 degree that you raise your thermostat, you could save up to 2 to 3% on your cooling costs? It adds up, but you have to remember to adjust your thermostat. That can be hard, especially when you're busy or you're not at home. You're at work all day, and by the time you get home, you completely spaced on it. A smart thermostat makes it easy, though. If you're away from home and forgot to adjust your thermostat, you can do it from your smartphone or device from anywhere. Right now, APS customers may be eligible for smart thermostats for as low as $0 when you enroll in the APS Cool Rewards program. If you already have a smart thermostat at home, see if it's eligible to enroll in Cool Rewards, plus free install is available at marketplace.aps.com. Must be an APS customer and pay shipping and taxes. Other restrictions apply. Go to marketplace.aps.com for more information. Also, told you at the start of the show to sign up to become a PHNX diehard. EJ just did it. He's in the chat today. He was in the diehard Discord yesterday, along with a bunch of other PHNX diehards. We're getting ready for the football season here at Arizona State, but so are those Arizona Cardinals. Training camp is here, and so is our best diehard deal of the year. You guys can join today for just $36 for the entire year. That's like $3 a month for full access to our Cardinals coverage, a free t-shirt, or and actually our exclusive Discord merch, event discounts, and more. The Cardinal season starts now. Make sure you make your move. Go phnx.com/intro offer social. Or again, go phnx.com, click the diehard tab, and get started. Or you could do it right here. You could literally just scan a little barcode. Let's see, like right there. You could just do that. You could literally just scan that barcode right there. EJ, yes sir, huh? QR code. What did I say? Barcode? Those are different. Yeah, barcode is like on things you buy at the grocery store. Yeah. See, at least I was able to talk myself through it.
Also, can I correct you on another word you say wrong?
Oh sure.
It's fair because it's almost like a dyslexic thing. I don't think you're dyslexic, but it's an easy way to mix it up. It's Bolitnikov, not Bolintikov.
Say that one more time.
It's Bolitnikov. It's not Bolintikov. It's the T comes before the
award
N.
for the best wide receiver in college football,
that's
baby.
Fine. That's fine.
Well, hey, I'll work on it for when Jordan Tyson wins it.
Exactly.
How about that? That works?
You'll need to say it right when he says it.
100%. 100%. Dallas in the chat says 27-10 Devils, a 17-point victory over Baylor to kick off Big 12 play would go a long, long way for Kenny Dillingham and the Arizona State Sun Devils. Again, I think just setting the tone, right? This is a big game. I think if it was any other team than Baylor, this would still be a game that was season defining just because of where it falls on the schedule, in all honesty. Shane, how do you feel about that first Big 12 matchup? Do you think it's a season defining game?
Yeah, you for what looks like it should be an easier schedule, and I don't believe it is, because I don't think anybody has an easy schedule in the Big 12, but what looks like something that should be an easier schedule, you're definitely getting tested immediately.
Yeah.
This is one of the best teams in the conference, and I think one of the top 20 teams in the country. Baylor is a program that is totally on the rise in the last couple of years, and they, the emergence of Sawyer has completely expedited the process. This is going to be a tough matchup. And again, you get to go visit the Waco Mammoth Museum, but you got to go to Waco to play that game. So it's not going to be an easy environment. They got an NFL stadium out there. Like, it's big time.
It would have been nice to get this game at home to open Big 12 play.
Yeah, but if you're confident in yourself, this could be the best thing for you. Going to Texas, like solidifying that Texas to Tempe movement and bringing Tempe to Texas.
Yeah.
And dominating Baylor and Waco.
Especially
that would be huge.
Given the way that they started last year in Big 12 play, right? Showing that change and kind of the understanding of what's at stake here. But it is not the only matchup against a Texas-based team that is a season-defining matchup. This one, TCU and Arizona State in Week 5, right after the Sun Devils take on Baylor. They do head home, but they're taking on Josh Hoover and the Horned Frogs. That should be a very, very important matchup as well, because TCU feels like if there were a team in this conference that could have an ASU type of season, it does feel like TCU to me. They are one of the biggest wild cards, I think, heading into 2025 in the Big 12. Of course, they've got their quarterback in Josh Hoover, as a lot of the teams in this conference do have their guy. I don't know if there was a quarterback that had a better statistical season in this conference than Josh Hoover last year. Threw for nearly 4,000 passing yards on a team that did win 8 games, 27 touchdowns to 11 INTs. It was a really weird year for TCU last year. Shane, do you know the 4 games that TCU lost? Do you know the opponents by chance?
All Big 12?
3 Big 12 and 1 non-con.
What conference are they playing?
The ACC.
Forgive me, I don't have TCU's schedule memorized from last year. BYU?
They did not play BYU last year.
Texas
a majority
Tech?
They beat Tech by a point. So they had a lot
Colorado.
of where is Colorado? Nope, they didn't play Colorado either.
I'm bad at this, just tell me.
So they lost to UCF 35-34.
Okay.
Now, mind you, Hoover threw the ball 52 times in that game for over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, no picks, and they still lost that game by a point. That tells you how just awful that defense is. And then the following week, they're on the road. They take on SMU. This is where SMU laid 66 points on TCU's head. Now, TCU offensively, still scored 42 points. Hoover had, again, nearly 400 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. He did have 2 INTs. He was only sacked 1 time. That TCU defense was god-awful last year. So they lost those 2 games. I mean, so immediately you're 2-2 to start the year. It feels like you need to win out if you're going to do anything relevant. Then they lose to Houston 2 weeks later, 30-19. Houston was a bad team. And then they lose to Baylor 37-34 down the stretch. Just overall a really weird set of games for TCU, especially the way they lost some of those games. You're close in a bunch of them. Hoover balls out, but defensively you're just giving up 40 burgers, 60-something points to SMU, which is I know they were a playoff team, but still, you're a Power 4 team. You shouldn't be giving up 66 points. That defense was buns last year. And now you look at what TCU is this year. They lose their top wide receiver. I believe he's now a Las Vegas Raider. And Beck, you added some interesting wide receivers in the transfer portal, especially a guy in Jordan Dwyer from the Idaho Vandals. That is going to be a very interesting watch this year, especially given the fact that TCU offensively the last several seasons has had some pretty dominant wideouts in this conference. So Hoover to Dwyer is definitely going to be an interesting QB wide receiver duo to watch, especially early on in conference play. This is, again, just the second conference game of the season for Arizona State after that Baylor game. But again, just looking back as to why TCU is going to be interesting. This is an 8-win team from last year. They did lose their best offensive lineman he's transferred to Miami. So that definitely hurts. They have a running back competition that they're in the middle of, or that they will be in the middle of once fall camp gets going. So really, outside of the quarterback position, there's a lot of changes and influx, big question marks, I guess, with TCU.
Josh Hoover has no haters. Now he has one.
Are you a hater? Are you a Hoover hater?
Yeah.
Why?
No, I am. Because he has no haters. No other reason.
Did you think I was going to hate on him?
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, why would we hate Josh Hoover?
You love Josh Hoover.
I don't love him.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're a dammer.
I like him. I don't love him.
You love him.
I need to see more before we need to go out a couple more times before I'm I love you, Josh Hoover.
Wow. Yeah, you're not at that stage.
No, I'm at the like stage right now. It's like
Do
a text
you
back.
like him though?
I think it could get there.
Yeah,
I could like him,
okay.
But just for now. That defense though is really, really interesting because last year they were one of the top units against the pass in this conference. Which is weird considering how many points they gave up in their losses. There were just games where it was just what the hell happened. They're not great, or they weren't great at slowing down the run last year. They lost their top tackler, but just like everybody else, they added guys in the transfer portal. So TCU, again, could be a wild card if they hit on some of those transfer portal additions. Again, as to why this is an important game, a season-defining game for the Arizona State Sun Devils, this is by no means a team that should beat Arizona State in TCU. I say they are a wild card, yes, 100%. They got a good quarterback, Josh Hoover. Outside of that, nobody is talking about TCU as being an elite level ball club. Nobody is saying that the Horned Frogs are going to be a top 15 team in college football this season. People are saying those same things about Texas Tech. People are saying those things about Baylor. People are saying those things about Iowa State. The reason I have TCU on here as a season-defining matchup is because of something that I've said for the last several years on this show as it relates to ASU football, ASU men's basketball, ASU baseball, etc. It's that great teams are great because they beat the teams that they are supposed to beat, right? This is a team that, yes, they've got their quarterback, but you're at home. Arizona State is at home, fresh off a tough matchup against Baylor. If you beat Baylor, there is zero reason why you should lose this game to TCU. You are better than TCU at every single position, every single one, from quarterback to running back to O-line to safety to corner to linebacker to defensive line to coaching. You should handle business against TCU. Now, if you do, then we're talking about a team that is probably 5-0 at this point. You won your Big 12 opener on the road against Baylor. Then you came home and you won your Big 12 home opener. You're probably a 5-0 team. You are probably a top 12 team, if not a top 10 team in college football. But you got to be 5-0. And it starts, again, with a big win against a team that you should, in theory, have no troubles with. Josh Hoover is going to be good. I don't doubt that. You got to be better. And I think Arizona State is. David's in the chat saying, what would you call the season-defining game last season? Texas. I would say the season-defining game, like if you're picking just one game, I would say the Kansas State game. The Kansas State game, this is a team that was in the AP Top 25. They were fresh off a bye week. You were on the road. I believe it was their homecoming game. And Arizona State's looking, at their schedule, you had Kansas State, BYU, Arizona. You had a tough stretch, right? And you took care of business, but it started with Kansas State. They, from that first drive, I believe they had a pick. I think it was Alford or Shamari had a pick, and they went and scored, and they did not let off the gas. That was a season-defining game for me, because if you lose that game, you're not going to the Big 12 championship. You're not going to the college football playoff. You're a team that had a really good year. Because think about it. Who else did they beat? Right? If they beat BYU last year, and that's their only really massive win at the end of the year rankings, then people are like, this is a team that overachieved. They got their big season win over BYU. They beat Utah when they were ranked. That's cool. But like, what else did they realistically do? Right? They beat BYU at home. Like, Kansas State was the game. It was the game that really put everything in motion for Arizona State. And you asked some of the guys too, and they're like, yeah, it was that Kansas State game when it was like, we know what we could do at this point, right? Again, think about the circumstances. This is a team that already has one loss, one more loss, and you are not making that Big 12 championship game. You are not making the college football playoff by any means. And that's it. And you're telling me you are on the road against a top 20 team with a really talented quarterback, a really talented ground game. It's their homecoming. They're fresh. You got to go into that environment and win that ball game, or your season, your postseason hopes are you're going to Pop-Tart Bowl.
This don't disrespect the Pop-Tart Bowl. This game feels like it was early in the season to me for some reason.
The Kansas State game?
Yeah, which is so weird. I don't know why.
It's because it felt like that's when the season started almost.
Yeah.
All those other games are like, oh yeah, they're winning, and we're still sitting back and like, wow, that's crazy.
This isn't legit. There's no way.
Yeah,
all that whole time.
Yeah.
And this was the game, and this was a blowout too. Like the final score 24-14, but it wasn't close.
No.
You were up 21-0 at halftime. I think you were up 24-0 at one point, and then they got 6 and 8. You were up 24-0 with until 2 minutes 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah.
You're up 24-0.
It was
that defense pitched a shutout.
They were dog walking Kansas State.
To be fair, that was when Avery Johnson's injury was real.
Yeah.
But
still,
you picked him off twice.
In terms of the season defining, that was the game for me. Sharon in the chat saying, I think BYU, because that was what put us on the path to get to the championship game. I definitely, like the Kansas State BYU, those games being back to back were huge. I mean, maybe the best 2-game stretch for Arizona State fans in recent memory. I guess, honestly, maybe the best 4-game stretch. If you take away the Jordan Tyson injury, that would have been by far the best 4-game stretch for Arizona State fans in the last half decade, at the very least. Maybe longer than that.
The brain chemistry that this team altered for me last year, like just in belief and going into game days, was crazy. Because at the start of the year, it was like, I don't really expect anything. Then halfway through the year, we were like, well, it'd be nice to keep winning. And then by the end of the year, like, I wasn't worried at all going into that U of A game. Literally at all.
No. And they stomped them.
Yeah. Like it was never close.
Well, and that's like the thing going into some of these games, right? Like the TCU matchup that I have here as a season-defining matchup. Like that should be the mentality of the fan base going into that game, right? Because I think TCU, again, like I've said, is going to be a good team, and you got to wait and see how the season plays out, whatever. You are, on paper, a better football team than the TCU Horned Frogs this year. The fan base should not be worried about TCU coming to Mountain America Stadium and winning that game, right? If you're a great team in the SEC, if you're a great team in the Big Ten, if you're Clemson in the ACC, and you have a team middle of the pack the way TCU is going to be, your fan base is thinking that they should win that game. And 9 times out of 10, they do. That's what should happen for Arizona State this year, and that's how the fan base should feel.
The home field advantage is going to be ridiculous this year.
Undefeated at home last year.
Yeah, but and you didn't even have that great of turnouts for what it deserved.
At least at the start of the year.
Yeah, at the end, for sure. Like that BYU game was nuts.
Was electric.
But like now it's going to be that double because season ticket holders, people are booking their trips now. Yeah. Like it's going to become a tough place to play again, finally. Because it hasn't been like that for so long.
And especially early on in the season, right? Because you're still getting that heat here, right? Like, I feel bad. Like, Mississippi State is lucky that they're not in Tempe this year. Texas State, I think, is going to be, like, I know people love Texas State. I think that game might be a little bit of a blowout.
That game should be a blowout.
It should be a blowout.
They're considerably worse this year. But they lost their coach, right?
They kept their coach, but lost their OC.
Their OC.
I think their OC is now
the head coach.
at Tech.
Yeah.
No, he's now the
FAU.
No, that's the Texas Tech OC.
Well,
yeah, they swapped. So Texas Tech OC went to FAU and Texas State OC.
That's right.
Yeah. But I do like the Texas State coach. I just think that they're gonna be a worse team. And that's again going back to the TCU game. Like, yes, I know it's hot in Texas, blah, 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 blah. It's not what it is here.
No.
Right? So TCU on the road, your first Big 12 game at home, Mountain America Stadium is going to be popping. It's a season-defining game for Arizona State. And if you're just now joining us, the first season-defining game that we discussed was Baylor. The second one, TCU. We're doing these out of order because I want to keep everybody on their toes just a little bit as we move throughout today's show. But the third season-defining game that I've got for Arizona State in 2025 is none other than a Big 12 championship rematch in Ames, Week 10, Arizona State taking on the Iowa State Cyclones. What do we got here, Shane?
So that is the largest gnome in the world. Or
really?
Maybe the largest concrete gnome. Because I saw that specified once, but on the sign, it says, I think his name is Elwood. It says he's the world's largest gnome. And Sparky is taking a pic. I mean, you can see the size comparison.
Shout out Sparky for just like enjoying Big 12 country.
Well, just enjoying life.
Yeah, that's fair. Not talking.
Take the scenic route, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, I love it.
It's about the journey, not the destination.
I also just love how he's standing in this picture. He's just happy to be there.
Standing just menacingly.
No, he's not menacing.
I mean, a little menacing.
Yeah, he's like standing like, Mom, I threw up. Like that meme. Standing like, take a picture of me. Okay, let's go.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, football.
Yes. Look, we kicked the show off saying that every team is going to have that Arizona State game schedule or circled on their schedule. No team is going to have a bigger circle around that matchup than the Iowa State Cyclones, because the Cyclones got their teeth kicked in Dallas by the Arizona State Sun Devils. Realistically, after that first quarter, it wasn't much of a football game. Arizona State dominated. This is a team, Matt Campbell, they have a really good squad. Every year, he's had a really good team. Last year, they did something I don't think that they had done in program history, which was achieve a 10-win season. I don't think that had ever been done at Iowa State or something along those lines. And you're returning a guy who's been the quarterback there now for several years in Rocco Becht. You, of course, lose your 2,000-yard receivers to the Houston Texans. They just snagged them right from under your nose. But you do have a guy in Chase Sewell who is a transfer wide receiver. I believe he was an East Carolina Pirate. Before this, I'm not as big on Chase Sewell as some of the other media that talk about the Big 12, specifically maybe in Iowa State. But he is going to be tasked with trying to replace some of that production. I'm interested to see what Rocco Becht and this Iowa State team look like. That secondary is one of the best secondaries in the Big 12 last year. I believe it was actually statistically the best secondary. They bring back some guys. Yes, they lose some talent as well. Darian Porter is a big name that they lost. But overall, I think that defense is going to be a really solid unit. Offensive line-wise, they added some transfers. I believe one specifically from Wisconsin. They got bigger as a team. This is going to be a season-defining matchup for me because this is a game that happens so late on in the season, right? This is a Week 10 matchup on the road against a team that preseason people do think can go back to the Big 12 championship game. They were there. They tasted it. They saw it. They were this close from being a college football playoff team, and Arizona State snagged it from them. Literally pushed them in a locker, took the CFP appearance from them, and that was that. And now you're going to their house. There's no neutral site here. You are going to Ames, Iowa, that does have a really good fan base, has a really solid tailgating environment. I've only heard great things about the pregame setup that they have for the Iowa State Cyclones. They've got their quarterback who got punched in the mouth last year, who didn't play well against Arizona State. And this is going to be a game that likely is going to be not just season defining for Arizona State, but for Iowa State as well. I think the winner of this game, realistically, still obviously has a chance, potentially moves in as a favorite to go to the Big 12 championship game. Meanwhile, whoever loses this game, especially if you're a team that already has one loss, that's probably a wrap. That's probably a wrap on you going to the Big 12 championship game. Probably a wrap on you going to the college football playoff at the very least. If you go into this Week 10 game, or I guess I should say if you leave this Big 10, or if you leave this Week 10 Big 12 matchup with a loss. Go ahead.
You know why you hate Chase Sewell so much?
Why?
Because he started at Colorado.
Makes sense now. See, I didn't know. You put 2 and 2 together for me there. I didn't even know. It's just something I could sense.
Also, you've slowly started drifting to your left.
Have I?
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Yep, keep going.
More? You want me more here?
There you go.
All right, there.
That was so funny. I looked up and you were like
slowly
you were like lower third.
Closer to the door
stage,
as we move time-wise.
Fully stage left. Yeah, you're just ready to go.
Oh, man. Yeah, this Iowa State game is going to be fun. I think it's going to be.
Baylor has Auburn and SMU to start the season?
Yeah, they do. Baylor could be a top 25 team by the time they play.
Or they could be.
Or they could be 0-2 at that point.
My Auburn Tigers, dude.
Your Auburn Tigers.
My Auburn
I mean,
Tigers.
that's definitely not a cakewalk start to this
Hugh
schedule.
Freeze is now Hugh.
Froze?
No, he's Hugh Melty.
Yeah, Hugh Melty?
Mm-hmm.
Dear Lord. We got to work on that. We got to workshop Hugh Melty.
He's on the hot seat is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, my gosh. Look.
Or damn Eagle, you know?
This is somebody I do love. I do love Rocco Becht.
Hugh Freeze?
No, I love Rocco Becht as a quarterback, and I think this is going to be a fun matchup, to say the least. Again, before we move on to our fourth game, this is, out of the 3 games that we've talked about so far, this one will have the biggest impact on Arizona State going to the Big 12 championship game. Again, like, say what you want about maybe Baylor's going to be a better team this year than Iowa State. In some of the other teams as well, potentially. But because of where this game falls on the schedule, it is immediately going to have an impact on what happens postseason for the Sun Devils.
Speaking of where games fall on the schedule, I'm on Auburn's schedule, just seeing if they have an SEC cakewalk after Baylor. So they got Baylor to open the season Friday night, August 29th, Beast-ass time.
Great game.
Really excited for that. Then they're at home against Ball State. And then at 9:45 in the morning, Saturday, September 13th, your South Alabama, what are they, the Cougars?
Something. Yeah.
Jaguars? The Jaguars. Your South Alabama Jaguars are going to Auburn.
Wow.
9:45 in the morning. I am there. SEC Network.
You're there?
I'm there.
You okay. We'll have you call in live.
And then Auburn has a tough matchup second to last week of the season. Right before Alabama, they're getting a primer with Mercer.
I hate the SEC.
Where one of my good friends went to law school.
He's a Mercer educated lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good thing?
He's a Bear.
Mercer Bears. Everybody's the Bears at this point. Guys, let me know what you think of that Iowa State matchup, Week 10, Sun Devils traveling on the road. And out of the 3 games that we've called season-defining, Baylor, TCU, and Iowa State, which one are you looking forward to most? Is it when ASU travels to Waco, takes on the Bears, not to be confused with the Mercer Bears, but the Baylor Bears? Is it when the Horned Frogs come to Tempe to kick off Arizona State's first Big 12 home game of the season? Or is it Week 10 when the Sun Devils take on Iowa State for a 2024 Big 12 championship rematch? Let me know in the comments. We got 2 other games to round out our list of 5, but we are going to take a quick break. Look, Eric Ruby is on vacation, and I know for a fact that he is stretching his dollar with Mountain America Credit Union, taking advantage of the rewards credit card options that they have over at MACU. You guys can get 2 times the points on rewards credit card purchases through July 31st. So you're probably saying, Anthony, well, that's right around the corner. And I'm saying to you, viewer, make sure you take advantage of this offer with just a week to go. Use your Mountain America rewards card and watch the points pile up. It's perfect for the essentials. We're talking gas, groceries, travel, home projects, and all other purchases. Now, this promotion is an easy way to stretch your dollar since you earn twice as many rewards. Now, you can redeem your double points for rewards like travel rebates, gift cards, event tickets, and more. Limited time only. Take advantage of it while you can. More details at macu.com/double. Loans on approved credit offer can change or be withdrawn at any time. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dim the lights. Circle K. Okay, we're here in Studio K, my favorite studio, my favorite place to do a show, and it's because of our friends over at Circle K. You can see the lights dimming on and off and on and off. Look, our friends over at Circle K, they're trying to help you save money every single day with Inner Circle. It is their free membership program. That is right, I said free membership program. Super easy to get enrolled and sign up. Go to the App Store, download the app. Email, phone number, bada bing, bada boom. You're an Inner Circle member, and you guys can start saving when you pull up to the pump. Literally, go to a Circle K, type in your phone number, and you're going to start saving money. 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. Sometimes they've got Inner Circle fuel days where you guys could save like 40 or 50 cents per gallon, which is just, I mean, guys, they're helping you save so much money on gas, which in this economy is really, really important right now. Okay, so definitely sign up to become an Inner Circle member. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply. At participating locations, visit circlek.com for details. For anybody running right now, don't stop. Keep going. You got this. Just one more mile. One more mile.
Don't look up. Just run with your head down.
Yeah, head down.
Head down.
Well, I mean, like,
if you hit a tree, it's fine.
Yeah.
You run into somebody, it's fine.
Then. Stop if you hit a tree. Keep
going.
Go
around.
Yeah, go around the tree.
Yep. Deep breath in.
No, we're still holding it. Hold it in. Hold it in. Hold it in. They're running, Shane. We gotta let it out. Oh man. Ernie in the chat saying Iowa State definitely the defining game for ASU if they want to repeat as Big 12 champions. Out of the 3 games, Shane, that we've discussed so far, which one do you think is the most season defining?
I think it's Baylor.
You think?
Because you had such a It's because of the timing. You had such a unbelievable season last year, and now there aren't a lot of them, but I'm sure there's a good amount of them that are like, all right, they're not going to be bad, but the heights are not going to be as high as they were last year.
Yeah.
And this is the game where you prove everybody wrong, where you go into Waco, blow the doors off of that team, and you come home 3-0, and everyone's like
4-0.
4-0, and everyone's like, oh no,
We're here. We've arrived.
Yeah, everyone's like, that's the Big 12 champions.
I'm here for it. But there's another team in the way, and this is another season-defining game that everybody is looking forward to, except maybe myself here. If you could tell by the photo, it's that Week 8 matchup. Texas Tech comes to town to face Arizona State. Could this be a college game day? This is the Red Raider to ESPN, actually, when they're talking about the college game day negotiations. He is big on game day coming to Tempe for this game. What say you, Shane?
I mean, it should be if projections are what they are right now. Let me just for the fun of it look up Week 8 college football and see the other games in there.
Because that's a solid
like
one.
if Alabama and someone else is playing, it's like
I mean,
all right. So we got Week 8. Oh no,
Delaware at Jacksonville State.
New Mexico State against Liberty. That's where I was going.
Tennessee at Bama.
Yeah, there you go.
Tennessee at Bama is going to be potentially something. Oklahoma at South Carolina could also be something.
They just randomly love to throw a bone to Washington and Michigan. Oregon at Rutgers.
I don't know, man. I think, in all honesty, like Arizona State, Texas Tech.
U of A at Houston.
Arizona State, Texas Tech, I think, is going to be in that same vein of the South Carolina, Oklahoma, Bama, Tennessee. Like, I don't think Tennessee is going to be as good this year. Any of the other matchups, like, I don't necessarily see it happening. Those are the three games I think that you point to immediately, and you're like, okay, I could see that as a potential college game day game. Especially if Tennessee's not as good as they were.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this exercise is doing nothing for anybody because of how
far away this all is.
And
Ole Miss at Georgia.
Expectations are just like they mean nothing at all. Like Texas Tech, obviously ASU needs to hold up their end of the bargain, but so does Texas Tech. I don't believe they're going to be good. I don't think they're going to be good.
So why don't you? Because this has been, I mean, not a big part of the show over the last few weeks, but you have been pretty firm in belief that you don't necessarily think that Texas Tech is going to live up to the hype that they've gotten this year, which the hype is pretty high.
It's very high.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be a solid team in this conference.
What's a solid team for Big 12 Texas Tech?
8 wins.
8-4.
Yep.
So they're TCU from last year.
Sure. So, the reason why I don't believe it is because I don't think they're very strong at the quarterback position. I don't believe in their pass catchers as much. You lose one of the best running backs in the conference, and you fill all the holes with like Mighty Putty that you got in the transfer portal. Yeah, it might stop the leaks, but and sure, some of them are great. Like the edges they got are ridiculous. That defensive line is going to be very good. You have to score points to win in the Big 12. You have to. Texas Tech's front seven could be otherworldly. And you know how you beat a good front seven? You get the ball out fast.
Yeah.
You know who's good at that? Sam and Kenny.
Yeah.
Like good coaches can find ways around teams that have one very strong part of their.
We saw him do it against UCLA in Kenny's first year that had multiple edge rushers that were first-round talent, and they beat him with the swinging gate.
Yeah.
Is that the game? Is that the game where we see the swinging gate come back?
No.
Texas Tech college game days here, and Arizona State is running the swinging gate to beat Texas Tech.
That'd be insane.
Come on now.
Mainly, I guess, to put it simply, I just don't believe in their offense.
Are they the New York Giants of college football?
Well, no, their offense was really good last year, obviously.
Yeah, they scored a lot of points.
I don't believe in it this year. You lost so much production.
Yeah.
Bring back Michael Crabtree, and then we can talk.
Bring back Michael Crabtree, and then we can talk. Well, maybe he'll be in Tempe for that game. This is certainly going to be a season-defining game, whether college game day is here or not, right? And this is all based off of the hype that you have with a Texas Tech team. I said it on yesterday's show. There were some social media posts that listed like their top 25 teams in college football to have their first CFP appearance. Texas Tech was number 1 on that list. There was a lot of hype at Big 12 Media Day about Texas Tech. This is a team that spent a ton of money. Literally, nobody spent more money in the transfer portal than the Texas Tech Red Raiders. You retain your quarterback, albeit maybe not the greatest quarterback in the world, but still familiar.
He's not bad.
No, he's not bad.
I'm not calling him bad.
He's not a top 7 quarterback in the conference.
No, and this is a very top-heavy conference, but he was solid last year. He was good. He was a good quarterback last year. I just, compared to the rest of the talent in this conference, and again, like, you lost your top pass catcher. You lost, everyone loves Ko Eakin. I like Ko Eakin too. Ko Eakin didn't surpass 700 yards last year.
You lost starting tight end.
Yeah.
Lost Taj Brooks.
We don't talk about their starting tight end.
Well, we just say
he's a fraud.
Starting tight end.
He's going to become a professional golfer.
Which would be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Well, dual sport athlete.
Dual sport guy. Yeah. I'm here for it. Look, this Texas Tech game is going to be a fun game. And the fact of the matter is you get them here. You get them at Arizona State, Mountain America Stadium. I know we talked about the TCU game earlier. I don't think you will have a bigger and better crowd all year long in Tempe than you will when Texas Tech comes to town.
Middle of October, it's going to be just perfect. I'm assuming it'll be a night game.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
It's not if College Game Day's here.
True.
Could be a day game.
But even if it is, it shouldn't be too hot.
No.
Like,
it'll be a very, very fun environment.
I hope it's like otherworldly hot for that day. I hope it's like 105. Everyone's like, what's going on? It's October 18th.
David's in the chat saying Texas Tech could very well be undefeated when Arizona State plays them. The toughest game they have at that point is Utah. I considered putting Utah on the list of top 5 season-defining matchups. But there are a lot of games.
Don't discount September 6th when they host Kent State at 9 a.m. What are you, in the SEC?
They want to be. The way they're spending money on their roster, they want to be, man. This Texas Tech game is going to be fun. So definitely go out to that game. If I had to rank the 4 games that we've already discussed before we get to the final season-defining matchup for Arizona State, I'm going to rank them based on excitement level for me. I would say number 1 is Baylor. Number 2 is Texas Tech. Number 3 is Iowa State. Number 4 is TCU. Just in terms of like personal excitement, getting ready for those.
I'm most excited for this Tech game.
You are?
Yeah.
Just so you could be like, yeah, I planted the flag months ago of like, I thought this team.
No, because I think it's good.
Nothing beats the power of friendship.
I think it's genuine. Yeah, really though. I think it's genuinely going to be a really good game. I'm looking at their 2024 team stats now, and it's no surprise their offense ranked in the top 10 in both passing yards and points for. But their defense was abysmal. They were 122nd in points against.
They were a horrible defense.
Yeah, and so it's funny they spent a ton of money on their defense, and it reminds me of like the classic cartoon trope when like there's a leak in a ship and they go run to the other side of the ship and like put something to stop the leak, and then they all break. Like,
it very well could be. That very well could be the case. The offense could be lackluster this season. They did add some pieces on offense, but not as much as they invested on that defense, specifically on that front 7. But getting to the final season-defining matchup for Arizona State in 2025, there were a number of places we could have gone here. We could have gone with the Utah matchup. We could have gone with the Colorado matchup. But instead, it's the Arizona Wildcats. It's that Territorial Cup, Week 14 at Arizona State. Sparky and Wilbur, the fight for Wilma. It is going to be an ass-kicking. Or at least it should be, right? So why is this a season-defining game? Because this game is always a season-defining game for Arizona State and Arizona. I think the Arizona Wildcats are going to be better than some people think. And I am not somebody, if you've watched this program, that gives Arizona any credit. But there are people that genuinely believe this is going to be a 4-win team. I think if everything goes right, if the Wildcats have their dream season, that it could maybe be a 6-7 win squad, which would be a huge win for Brent Brennan and the Arizona Wildcats. But if you're Kenny Dillingham, if you're Sam Leavitt, you're Jordan Tyson, I'm sorry, but you need to put Lil Bro in the dirt come Week 14. Before the Big 12 championship game that you should be playing in, before a CFP, You need to take care of your rival. And of course, last regular season game of the year. If you lose this game, depending on what your record is, yeah. That's it. Big 12 championship, CFP, done, gone. Adios. You cannot let the Wildcats do that. And on the flip end of that, Arizona could very well be playing for bowl eligibility going into that game. They could need a win to play for that game. They're going to have something to play for in theory. Take that from them. Squash it. Stomp them. There is nothing I want more to come in here after that Friday game in Tempe and to talk so much mess to Damon and Kevin that they have to cancel the Wildcat show that day because they are that distraught over what Sam Leavitt and Jordan Tyson did. I expect those guys to do just unbelievable things to the Arizona Wildcats in that game. And if you don't believe that Jordan Tyson has this game scheduled or circled on his schedule, you're wrong. Jordan Tyson got hurt in this game last year. The game that ultimately cost him an opportunity to play in the Big 12 title game, an opportunity to play in the CFP. He might go for 200 yards, maybe more in this game, if he even plays in this game, I guess, like in the second half at the very least. This is going to be a season-defining game. You got to crush your rival. This could be a game that not only has bowl implications for Arizona, but this could be Brent Brennan's job on the line going into this game. And you got to win. You got to kick their ass. Point blank, period. Do you agree, Shane?
Yeah. Dude, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's no other. It doesn't matter if you're winless at this point of the season. You have to blow the doors off of this team.
Yeah. David's saying, too, in La La Land, it'd be season-defining because we'd be going undefeated for the first time in 50 years.
I love La La Land.
I love La La Land.
I have
never seen that movie, though.
Really?
Yeah, never.
You should. I wasn't talking about the movie. I just love the place. I have a season pass to La La Land.
Wow.
I'm there all the time. Yep.
I didn't know it was a park.
It's not a park.
It's not like Disneyland?
It's a place.
It's a place.
Mm-hmm.
What do they have there?
Dreams.
And cotton candy?
No.
No cotton candy in La
It's
La
actually
Land?
vegan now.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to La La Land.
I think cotton candy's
It's awful.
Cotton candy's vegan anyway.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just sugar. I think cotton candy is literally just blown sugar.
Is cotton candy vegan? The vegan status of cotton candy depends on the ingredients.
Stop AIing this. Just look.
There's natural and organic cotton candy. You have to use organic sugar. That's gross, dude. Cotton candy it's not vegan.
How? Sugar doesn't come from animals.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what the internet's telling me, man. I don't know.
I'll ask somebody in the office.
Okay. Oh my goodness, guys! Let us know what you think of the
It's literally just melted sugar.
The 5 season-defining matchups for Arizona State in 2025. Just a quick recap for everybody that tuned in late. This is what we have for our season-defining matchups for the Sun Devils. You've got that Week 4 matchup between Arizona State and Baylor in Waco, Texas. Season-defining, set the tone in Week 4. And then right after that, Week 5, another season-defining matchup. TCU comes to Mountain America Stadium. Great teams beat the teams that they are supposed to beat. And then we go all the way to Week 10, where Arizona State is on the road, taking on Iowa State in a 2024 Big 12 championship rematch. Take care of business and beat the Cyclones. For our 4th season-defining matchup, it's when Red Raider and Texas Tech come to Tempe for a potential college game day matchup. ASU can kill the hype of the Red Raiders. And then the final season-defining matchup is always a season-defining matchup. It's when Arizona State takes on the Kitties Week 14 with the Territorial Cup on the line. Guys, that's going to do it for today's episode.
Hold on. Two things.
First,
sugar is most sugar is not vegan because it is fluffed up using bone char from animals. So that's why.
That's the first thing.
And the second thing is I now believe in Texas Tech because they have a Miami of Ohio receiver transfer.
That's all it took.
Who's supposed to be their best receiver?
What's their name?
Reggie Virgil.
Solid name.
Almost 1,000 yards at the University of Miami at Ohio. Hey, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to do it. If you enjoyed today's content, give us a follow at PHNX _Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony _Totri. You can follow that guy right there behind the Mac doing all the things. The Deli Man, you can follow him at Shane Deef.
Believing in the Mac as always.
And we will see you guys on Friday. In the meantime, go Devils and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.